The interest rates in the country have again started climbing up. The RBI has hiked interest rates in two successive rounds recently. Let's understand from Mr. Atul Monga, CEO of Basic Home Loan, as to how it will impact the home loan industry. Let's also understand from him how the next phase of growth will come for the company. So, how are you?
Good, good, sir. It's be after the weekend, it's always good. Monday morning is energetic.
Wonderful. So, Atul, the interest rates have started climbing up again after
Yes,
historic lows. How do you see this impacting the real estate industry in particular?
you're already at a very low rate in terms of home loans. It might not have that much impact. Yes, it will impact. That's what I'm saying. But it might not. It can be absorbed by the economy or by the growing demand which is there in the market. So it might be a temporary impact on the sector. But overall, I believe that the home loans will continue to grow, and and linked to that is real estate sector that should also be growing.
All right. Uh, uh, the thing about real estate market is that after about 2 years, demand has come back because of COVID, because of pandemic. There was not too much of action in the last 2 years. You see a kind of pent up demand coming into the market also.
See, I believe there was always the demand. See, because of this COVID, a lot of people started building their own houses because people understood the importance of house. Now, most of the things were carried out from a home. So, those who were living in rents, they wanted their own house. For example, people who were living in metros, they now were buying houses on the outskirts because they can now have a dedicated room for their office because they have to work from home. They can have a dedicated room for their children for their studies because schools were, done through home. So demand was there, especially in tier two, tier three cities. We in fact saw a lot of our customers who were working in say Delhi or in Mumbai or in Gurgaon. They were building houses in their native places because now they can work from home and they can stay close to their family. Now again, I believe from 2021 when the budget was announced and there was a huge stimulus given to the real estate sector, the next 4 5 years will be for the real estate sector. The demand will keep on growing. So as of now we have no, and in fact currently the equity markets are so down that people are looking for alternate sources for investment. So real estate provides a safer option to those people also. So as of now I have not seen too much impact in the luxury segment or the big ticket segment. Yes, there is some impact in the affordable housing segment because of the rate hike. But I believe overall the real estate sector should grow for next 2 to 3 years without any issue.
Atul, for a basic home loan, that is your company, a significant chunk of your business came from millennials. Now, these
Yes.
people had, of course, moved back to their hometowns. With pandemic getting over, they are moving back to metros. So,
Yeah.
do you think there'll be an impact because of the millennials moving back to metros now?
See, obviously there would be some impact, but as I mentioned earlier, now people understand the value of a home. So overall, we have not seen too much impact on the segment. And again, as I mentioned, that it might be a temporary impact even it happens. But if you see closely regarding the tier two, tier three markets, a lot of construction activity is going on because if you see from a builder side, earlier the problem in tier two, tier three city was connectivity. You didn't have any connectivity to bring raw materials or to connect with people regularly. But now since we have that connectivity issues resolved because of more construction in terms of highways and then network connectivity, so a lot of builders are building their apartments or new projects in tier 2 tier 3 cities. I'll give you one example of Meerut. Currently if you go to Meerut has become a NCR now, means you can travel to Delhi in 20 minutes through Meerut expressway. Now a lot of construction is going on, and there these builders find it easy to construct because you just have to you get cheap labor over there, and then real estate sorry raw material costs are also lower, and you can turn around the project in 1 or 2 years time. So it's quick return for them. So because of this increased demand coming, sorry, this supply coming in these areas, a lot of demand is coming. People who wanted to have modern houses or new houses, they're buying it. So I don't think, yes, there is some headwind because of this millennials coming back to the city, but they're still buying houses in their native places. So it should be a temporary impact, not a long term impact.
Interesting. Now, coming to basic per se, how have you been able to leverage technology to solve some of the problems that have been there in the market for home loan seekers?
Okay. See, earlier before basic, if a customer had to take a home loan, they had three major options. One, they can go directly to a bank branch where they have to pay a processing fee, and then they get to know what is the right bank for them, because then only they will get the offer, which is not a financially wise decision and also a very hectic decision because you have to go to multiple branches. Second option was these web aggregators like Pesa Bazaar, Bank Bazaar, and many other companies. These people, will tell you some comparison, but then will sell your leads to the banks, and now banks will take care of your journey, which is again a broken journey, and customers will not handhold. Thirdly, they can go to these agents in the market who will, who are mostly fly by night kind of operators and will try to fool the customer. What we have done is, the first thing we solved using technology was that the first question a customer asks is, what is the bank where I should apply? So we have digitized the credit policies of the bank on our system. So when a customer come to us, we put their profile as well as their property profile and fetch the civil data and everything to match them to the right bank. So
Oh, okay.
our matching is 70% correct, which is, in two applications, we guarantee our customer that we'll get you a home loan. In fact, we are only one of the few fintech players who give guarantee of our job. We tell our customer that if we are not able to get your home loan in two applications, we will pay your one EMI if you get it from somewhere else. So that's our commitment to our customer, and that's the strength of our technology. Secondly, we do end-to-end fulfillment. We don't just give the leads to bank. My agents actually go to customer house, collect documents, and we provide step-by-step tracking. Just like you track your courier, my customer can track their application through my system. We have direct integration with the banks, so we get this the status of their applications into our app or our website. So my customer don't have to move out of the house. Sitting at home, they get their home loans done. That's the benefit which we have created using technology.
Atul, coming back to the real estate industry, the government defines affordable housing in a particular way. It should not be more than so many square feet. It should not be
Yeah.
45 lakh rupees. What do you think of the definition itself? Do you think the definition should be expanded a bit, at least in metros?
Yeah, see, I believe the definition which government adopted for CLSS PMAY was primarily based on the circle rates. But you and me both know that people don't buy on circle rates. It's actually a different price. So this is something which, as basic, we have been demanding in all the budgets. If you see some of the posts we have sent earlier, we wanted government to increase this limit. So in metros, the limit is currently 45 lakh rupee house, and for a MIG segment, it is about 200 square meter. We want it to increase to at least 500 square meter, and the price should be increased to 70-75 lakhs. Because if you go to Mumbai or Delhi or Bangalore, you will not find any good apartment below this rate. So this is something we want government to increase. And again, for MIG segment, especially for MIG one segment and two segment, it was decided that this PMAY will end by 2022. So we want this also to increase, and government should give another 5 years time, which will give more success to the PMAY overall scheme for the government as well as for the people.
Atul, coming to the startup environment and ecosystem, the funding for startups has started to kind of dry up in the last 3 4 months. There's pressure by PE investors to kind of downsize the headcount of the portfolio companies. How do you see this environment impacting your company?
See, I believe this investing cycle is always a cycle actually. So there is always a uptrend and a downtrend. People first invest and then they see the portfolio monitoring. So those companies who have been frugal, like we have raised 4 million till date, and we have not spent or burnt more than 1 million out of it. So we have enough liquidity. In fact, we are also discussing one more funding round for the company. So the thing is, it should not impact companies who are always cost conscious and were looking for profitability. Yes, there have been some companies where the operations or processes were not in place and people were just burning money to acquire customers. They might find it difficult to raise money because now investors will become cautious. In terms of the comment you mentioned that the funding is dried up, I believe there is still a lot of the liquidity available with investors. They are now become just more choosy or more particular about few things about a company before investing. So good companies will always find capital. So the and again, it is a cycle. It should stay for some time and then it should go back to the normal. It happens in market, and this is the time which tests the company. And I believe it in some way is good for the good companies who have been building business in with proper principles and proper processes.
Atul, you just mentioned you're already discussing your next round of funding. Can I know how soon and with whom?
Uh, that I cannot disclose right
Okay.
now, but yeah, very soon you will hear about it. So we are raising a round, and just to fuel the growth, currently we are in 25, 30 cities where we are doing business. We want to reach around 100 cities by March, and currently we do close to 250, 300 crores on a monthly basis. Now we want to increase it to 1000 crores by March. So for that, we need to expand manpower. We have to build new technologies, and we believe if we are able to do that, then we'll be the largest mortgage distributor in India. So that's the plan. And by
Wonderful.
March, we should be able to do that.
Talking of basic per se, where do you think the next phase of growth would come from for your company? Let's say next 1 or 2 years, what will be the next growth phase for the company?
Okay, see, we have three lines of business. One is where we have a lot of influencers like property dealers or these chartered accountants, architects who refer us customers. We started with this business first. Recently, we have started two new lines. One is our direct online, where we get the customer online and we help them in fulfillment. And second is our builders business. So currently, we have about 50 odd builders whose sales team use our technology to refer us customers. We believe that these two new lines will be the next phase of growth for us because there is a huge demand among builders, and we present ourselves like a mortgage gateway to them. Just as you have a payment gateway, we present ourselves as a mortgage gateway that will help you. We give TAT guarantee to builders, and this is good for them because if they're able to get loans done faster for their customers, they can book their sales faster. So that I believe will be the next phase of growth for us. So we are aiming to have at least 200 builders working with us by March, end of March this year, this financial year, and by in online we want to have at least 200, 300 crores of monthly disbursements by March.
Wonderful. Coming to my last question, and this is again for the entire industry, real estate industry as such. The prices of homes have gone up in the last 3 4 months, and there are projections that the prices will rise further because of the rise in input costs, that is raw material costs. How do you see this impacting the real estate industry in the next 1 or 2 years? Do you think the demand will be hit?
Yeah, obviously, if the builder is getting raw materials, in an expensive way, so they will be, putting it on customers only, and plus customers will have more impact due to rising home loan rates. And again, these raw materials, there have been a problem in our industry that these raw materials, the GST charge on it cannot be recovered by the home sales. So generally, builders put this GST amount also on customers. So if overall prices is increases, GST will increase. So this will impact customer. But given the purchasing power in our country is increasing, and obviously there are some headwinds currently, but overall the purchasing power is increasing. So those who want to buy a house, they will keep on buying it, and builders might present some kind of schemes or offers which can help them ease their purchase decisions.
Wonderful talking to you, Atul. I think I'll conclude at this point of time, and
Sure.
we'll catch up with you at a later stage with more questions. Maybe when you have the next round of funding.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll conclude this podcast right now, and it's a pleasure speaking to you.
Same as it. Thank you. Bye.
The rising interest rates will have limited impact on the home loan industry. That's what Mr. Atul Monga believes. He also says tie up with the developers and his online significant online presence will lead to the next growth phase for the company. Thanks.